Beans from these sprouts will eventually end up in shareholders' baskets, which can be between 5 and 20 pounds depending on the season. Even with these protections, however, lawmakers urge students to be safe with their money. At the University of Iowa, I'm Christina Sarnelli. In this room behind me, students in that class are working vigorously to invent their own apps, which they hope people will be able to use on one of these. This solar box cooker, which Don built himself, absorbs sunlight and can get as high as 230 degrees in February. The pilot being studied sits in the back part of the cockpit where I'm sitting right now using the simulator while Professor Schnell flies from the front. Apple products are everywhere, lining the walls and shelves of stores. Everything from the newly released iPad to the iPod Touch. Their infamous apps make life more convenient, and for some UI students, they could make them money. This semester, the University of Iowa School of Journalism offered a new class called Create an iPhone Application. In this room behind me, students in that class are working vigorously to invent their own apps, which they hope people will be able to use on one of these. In the class, journalism and computer science majors collaborate to come up with an app idea. Then they put together code that makes the app come to life. Putting the apps together, however, is not that simple.
It's a new programming language for everybody in the class. Nobody's ever worked with Apple's programming language before, so basically our biggest problems comes in terms of the learning curve and learning to use that programming language and do sophisticated things with it.
The students are hoping their hard work pays off. One particular group is creating an app that tours Iowa City. Consumers would use the app to explore Iowa City's restaurants and businesses. The students hope to profit off of the app by selling advertising space.
If Poncheros wants to pay us X amount of dollars for their ad to show up however often, in the app on the top bar or something like that, maybe we try to work something out like that.
On top of possibly earning some cash, most of the students agree having made an app is a pretty cool thing to put on a resume. Christina Sarnelli, Daily Iowan TV. From the front, Don Laughlin's house on Church Street seems like an ordinary home. In the back, it's a little different. Laughlin's house has solar panels. The panels work along with these pumps and tubes in Laughlin's basement. The panels, tubes, and pumps help generate 95% of the energy used to heat Laughlin's water and 92% of his entire home. On average, a project like this costs $20,000. A lot? Laughlin doesn't think so.
We got to get off of carbon fuels sometime, and we've got to quit driving so much, and we've got to quit using gas and especially coal for heating houses and generating electricity.
And the cost of installing solar panels will eventually even out, considering the savings on energy bills.
Most people's gas bills in Iowa City will run, in the wintertime, they'll run $250 a month, and mine's $250 a year.
Even Laughlin's truck is energy efficient. It runs off of biodiesel fuel, which is made from leftover cooking oil. Laughlin's even found a way to conserve energy when it comes to making food. This solar box cooker, which Don built himself, absorbs sunlight and can get as high as 230 degrees in February. And you use it kind of like a grill to cook food. Despite the cost and effort it takes to utilize renewable energy, Laughlin says it's worth it. It's less about saving for himself and more about saving the world. Christina Sarnelli, Daily Iowan TV. It's called Community Supported Agriculture, or CSA. It's bringing farmers and locals together. These people gathered to learn more about CSAs at the 6th Annual Agriculture Fair in Iowa City. This is how they work. CSA farmers promise to deliver herbicide and pesticide-free produce and plants to participating locals. The locals, known as shareholders, get a basket of fresh food delivered to their door every week over a specified period of time. The baskets can include anything from vegetables to flowers and decorative grasses. Beans from these sprouts will eventually end up in shareholders' baskets, which can be between 5 and 20 pounds depending on the season. Consumers are becoming more and more interested in CSAs because of the organic lifestyle it promotes.
I would like to get into the habit of having more fresh food. Right now I tend to go the easy route and rely a little bit too much on frozen stuff.
And farmers are happy to provide. Doing business with locals ensures a weekly paycheck, keeping small farms afloat.
It provides the capital up front that farmers need normally to plant in the spring, so if I can get it from the consumer versus the bank, it's always better.
And even more simply, CSAs create a sense of community, where farmers bring food from their home to yours. Christina Sarnelli, Daily Iowan TV.